Hey everyone, Conservative Video Dipper here. Well, summer's about to be here, and I thought I would share a good hobby for you to be able to share with your friends, your family, and your loved ones, your cousins, your niece, your nephews, whatever, of all ages to enjoy, and that would be gold prospecting. That's right, gold prospecting. So, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you might need. Of course, you'll need a gold pan. Now, gold pans can come in multiple of any sizes, different colors. There's just different pans. You choose which one you like. I always use my Garrett. This is my small Garrett's. This is my medium 14-inch Garrett's that I use. And then, Big Mama, the 15-inch Garrett. Are a good brand too. But get yourself a Garrett's, but not only, or a gold pan of any sorts, but you'll need a shifter. And this one I've happily named after a Democratic Senator, Adam Schiff. I know, that was a beautiful play-on pun word there, wasn't it? But, yeah, this is Adam Schiff. And, Adam, don't sue us just because we're making fun of you because your eyes go one way and the other. And you look like you could probably shift more gold than actually know how to be a good politician. Just saying! But anyway, so you guys, those are one of the few things you'll need. But when it comes to gold prospecting, it isn't just about, like, needing the gold pans. The gold pans are kind of part of the meat and potatoes of what makes this a fun project for all ages. So, let me pack a lip here and I'll show you what else you should probably get before you go out and think about gold prospecting. Cheers. So, what you will also need is a pickaxe. Now this one's Fiskars, which Fiskars is a very good brand. I love Fiskars. So, you'll need a pickaxe, just in case, if you get into some rough spots and dirts and stuff. So, pickaxe, again, any brand. It can be any brand of any type. And then you'll need some other gear. Now, let's just say hypothetically you find gold. But how are you going to be able to collect the gold? That, my friends, is where some of this other stuff come in. But before you find the gold, let's rewind a little bit more. There's some more stuff you will need before we find the gold or in the pan. You will want a rock hammer. Now, make sure, you just choose a rock hammer that you like. It doesn't have to be stupid expensive like a $5,000 Bugatti type rock hammer. And good God, if you ever buy a $5,000 rock hammer, you might as well jump in the creek. Metaphorically, okay? Metaphorically. But just a cheap little, a little rock hammer, mining hammer like this. Because if there's rocks, that's where most likely the gold is going to be, is by the rocks. Then you're going to want to definitely try to hit some quartz and other stuff to be able to look to see if the gold is there, or possibly potentially there. But that's not the only thing you'll want. You'll want some shovels like this. Now I have two, just in case if I lose one, I got a backup. Or if, like you see behind me, the green bean, aka the sluice box, which we will talk about. One's run for the gold prospector and the others for the sluicer, for the sluice box. But these are really good when you're gonna start scooping up what you call your concentrate. So when you're digging up your concentrate, that's all the stuff after you used bug-eyed shift over there, or I mean the shift, that you got it in a 5-gallon bucket. Use one of these, but you will want a regular shovel, and definitely do not try to use a snow shovel. Just don't do that. Okay, it's not freaking gonna snow gold. Okay, God, I wish that actually happened. Hey, guy, can you do that for me? Start shoveling, like, make it snow gold? That'd be awesome. Yeah, but that ain't gonna happen. So, good luck. Well, let's, again, remember the rocks I was talking about? You're gonna get into some crevices. Now, this kind of tool is pretty cheap. These are like weed picking, digging tools, right? But these can be your crevice tools. So when you get into crevices and you want to dig and pull out some of that dirt or whatever that's in there, you want to sample it, have a crevice tool like this. And this is pretty cheap too. Like, you could probably get this stuff at Dollar Tree. And even if it breaks, guess what? You can always go get a better one, or buy a new one. But you don't just want to have one. I like to carry two. And yes, I have a screwdriver. Okay, you're going to probably think, well, conservative, why would you bother with a screwdriver? Well, a screwdriver, even in small areas, you got one for longer reach, one for a shorter reach. And screwdriver can do some good too. I mean, I've never really had a problem using my screwdriver. I know I was kind of screwed up there, right, on that joke. But it's always good to have something like this, especially a flathead screwdriver, because you never know, in case, even if you don't use it for crevices, you might use it for other things. So, it's always good to have a screwdriver with you. And hey, don't screw up and forget your screwdriver, okay? Womp, womp, womp. Bad joke. Another one. You're going to want one of these. Now, these you can find at your local Dollar General, Dollar Tree, wherever. Cheap, garden place, whatever. You don't have to spend a lot of money. But these are just tools that I use that, yeah, I did spend a little bit of money collecting a lot of stuff, but I've had a lot of this since I first started doing this when I was a kid. But using this is also good too, because you can pick up the stuff that you've picked out from the crevices, the cracks, from the rocks and stuff. And it also is good for digging, because it's a shovel. So, even though you may think, well, this is stupid, I don't need to use this. Yes, keep this in your box. Okay? Always have that in your box. I always try to think outside the box. No pun intended there, by the way. But now let's get to the part where, let's say you do find gold. But how are you going to get the gold and separate it from the black sand and collect it so that you don't lose it? Well, that's where this little baby comes in. My favorite tool, the sniffer bottle. Or this one's called the Garrett's Gold Guzzler. That's a mouthful. I couldn't even guzzle that down in one sentence. But a sniffer bottle. You can buy these off Amazon. Probably a whole bunch for like $20. But if you really just want one, then go for it. They might set you back like $10, probably, thereabouts. But it's also good if you want to have like maybe a few stacked away just in case, because you never know who may join you. You always, sometimes when you're gold prospecting, you get people out of curiosity, wondering what you're doing, and then you want to start teaching them and showing them what you are doing and how to do it. It's always good to have an extra one, just in case if you get like spectators or people that want to go prospect with you. I'm a miner. You can ask me about my nuggets later, because we will discuss about that later. But anyway, another thing you do want is a magnifying glass. And yes, it doesn't have to be a really expensive one. It can be, like I said, Dollar General. This is just good to have so that you can kind of sneak a peek and see if you either got gold or fool's gold or nothing. So it's always good to have one of these with you. I always like to have my stuff with me. But another thing I really love to carry with me, and I always recommend people carrying, is a magnet. Trust me, you won't pick up chicks, because this isn't a chick magnet. We'll add the womp womp at the end, maybe, of the joke. But a magnet definitely is good to have. This will help you separate the black sand, so that when you are prospecting, all that black sand, or iron, which mostly black sand is iron, will be attracted to the magnet and suck it up, and there you go. It's easy to get the gold. But what do you do with the gold? Let's say you clean out your sniffer bottle and you go through your little gold pan, like little Rebel here is the one I call this, little Rebel. So little Rebel here has all the gold in it, and I'm now ready to put the gold that's in my pan somewhere. But where do I keep it? That's where I do recommend you buy a few vials. They do not have to be glass. They can be plastic. Some people prefer glass vials because, you know, they're kind of vile and inhumane, and they leave it behind when it breaks, and that's not good. So I kind of like plastic, but it's still bad for the environment. What a vile joke I made. Gosh. But anyway, a plastic vial or even a glass vial will help you when you go prospecting. That's where you can keep your gold in, and you can show it off or hide it and wait until the price of gold is astonishingly high enough to sell it. And that's where you get money. Gold is worth money, and it is worth it weight in gold. Okay, I gotta be done making puns here. Anyway, let me put some stuff away, and then we'll get to the big green bean behind me. Alright, and we are back. So, before we continue, it is very important to remind y'all to make sure that you check your local BLM. No, we're not talking about Black Lives Matter for you liberals out there and you crybaby snowflakes. We're talking about the Bureau of Land Management. Make sure that you are not prospecting on private property or somewhere where you should not be, and that you are using a public spot that you can mine in. Another big thing that I do want to remind you guys and gals out there, if you're going to do this, bring a couple 5-gallon buckets, maybe 2 or 3. 2 probably would be good. Definitely, and a shovel, like I said. So, now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Green bean. Green bean here is a sluice. Now, a sluice box, you can either get a metal one or a plastic one like this, is going to help you be able to work the dirt a little bit faster. If you have a stream and you can set your sluice box like this, and the stream can go down, and you just shovel your dirt in, and then after a while you clean this out, put all that, whatever's in here, in a nice clean bucket, and then do that. It will make it a little bit easier. Now, that sluice box is kind of like shifting, but only different. It's helping you a little bit faster be able to get down to the concentrate. Now, how much are you willing to pay for a sluice box? It's totally, completely up to you. Remember, there may be rules where you cannot use a motorized sluice box, what they call a sluice banker. So you can use one like I have that just is not really loud. It's pretty quiet and easy to carry. And plus, you can modify it too at any time and any given time just to suit your need. Like, put legs on it. And if you decide, hey, you want to use the legs, just bend the legs down and then there you go. So just remember, like I said, follow the guidelines, follow the rules, but have fun doing it too. And you probably will want maybe water waders. And do it during the summertime, not during the winter. The best time to do it is summer. Sure, there's going to be a lot of people out there during the summer. You're going to probably bring a lot of attention. So try to maybe go somewhere where you feel like there's not going to be a lot of attention drawn to you if you are not a people person like me. I just want to go prospect without attention. But have fun, and remember, you don't have to pay a lot of money for a lot of this stuff. But it sure does, again, bring its weight in gold when you have a lot of good equipment. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.